Hello, welcome to a very special edition of our Practice Profit Report. For the next week or two, let's talk about getting lucky, okay? I really do love St. Patrick's Day just for the theme around it, not for the green beer or anything like that. But I've always just found it inspiring, mostly from an entrepreneurial standpoint, where, we make our own luck. We understand this is exactly what we do. And you have to believe in the prosperity and the possibilities. Last week, I went over all sorts of psychology and expectations. And so today, I just want to begin, really with a very serious point that not only have you done the work, you've sacrificed to be in the greatest profession in our great country as a private practice doctor. You have to believe that those powers that you have, the superpowers, are not just clinical. They're relational. They're entrepreneurial, okay? They're transformative in every single way, and it can lead to unlimited prosperity. Unlimited prosperity. In fact, it is only self-limiting beliefs that will hold you back. You say, how is it that some doctors struggle to do $5,000 a day, and some doctors, they think $25,000 a day is a decent day? So how is it that there's this 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times discrepancy? And it all comes down to your own inner beliefs, your own self-worth, and your expectations, which I'm not going to restate from last week. And so first you have to remove the things that inhibit you in your mind, in your physicality, in your emotions. And we do this with value-based scheduling. We do this with the ability to complete a bigger vision diagnostically. But you have to really start first with your mindset of what's possible. So today, I want to talk about private practice prosperity and the unlimited ability that you have to create an overflowing bucket of never-ending gold coins over the rainbow, in the land of paradise, known as your life and what you've created. So, with that said, first and foremost, what you focus on, you will fulfill. This is manifestation, okay? This is real. Now, if you'll work out, you get stronger. If you're going to do running, you get faster. You're going to lift weights, like what your goal is, what you focus on. You're going to focus on your diet, you're going to improve. If you focus on value-based scheduling, your days go up. You focus on diagnosis, you do more. You have to understand, focus equals fulfillment, not the other way around. So what you desire, you see clearly, you manifest by your focus. And the law of attraction would say it's magnetic, right? It's back to you. Boomerang, thoughts, realities. I want you to get that down. It's very important to me that we're dialed in on this. So we could ask you throughout your day, where's your focus? Throughout your life outside the practice. First thoughts in the morning, last thoughts at night. With your patients, same deal. So today, the most important thing I want to talk about is just the luck factor, really, of math. Of setting you up for success with playing with valuable math. Now, the first rule of value of math is, in dentistry, the hole you give through is the hole you receive through. Okay? So give and receive. Give health, receive money, prosperity, right? Fulfillment, all those wonderful warm and fuzzies, but at the end of the day, profitability. So you want to have a prosperous practice, you got to give more health opportunity. So the hole you give through, the hole you receive through. Positive language, verbiage, communication. Receive, influence, leadership, ability to impact. Your whole team needs to understand this. Your family at home, whether you're 1, 2, 3, 5, doesn't matter, whatever the age, it doesn't matter, has to understand what we focus on, we get more of. Focus in, results out. Very important. So in the math position, there is, the first concept is simply diagnose more. That's not enough. You then have to bundle more stuff together. You have to also be willing to play with price. You have to expand fee, so that you're not selling time or procedures. You're selling knowledge, which goes beyond time. You're selling impact, which goes beyond knowledge. Okay, so we say your time, valuable, right? What you do within the time, more valuable than the time. The outcome, the result of what you do, okay, more valuable than what you do. You follow me? The extrapolation of the impact on a person's life, on and on and on and on, right? So I always joke that with our dental success transformation process, we're worth the whole entire amount. Every year you can do it for the rest of your life. You do it once, you can do it for the rest of your life. Every year, again and again and again. Because the value is extrapolated. It's exponential. Right? It's not transactional. And I don't want you to think transactional. I don't want you to think incremental. I want you to play with multiplication. I want you to think acceleration. I want you to move faster. So first, okay, playing with good math is obviously the fee. Can you see my marks? First of all, you're going to play with the fee. We're going to do a special breakout on this interesting thing called a utility tool, okay, of the insurance ideas. But this can play up or down. You're getting cut off at the knees, or you're leveraging it for case acceptance, right? Which way are you going? The amount, how much you are, asking for in a sense on the front end, okay, versus along the way, versus in the back end and arrears. Okay, you can maximize fees. You can be inhibited by insurance. You can accelerate the upfront amount, or you can get paid after the fact. It's a bad deal. Okay, and you also can speed. You can speed up execution by bundling, right? You can speed up execution by understanding that the point is the paying, not necessarily the delivering. Point is the paying. So we can speed up the money. We can course out the treatment. It's okay. But we can't course out the treatment and then stage out the money, right? So we want to make sure that we're playing with which one, okay, in what order. All of that leads to better math. Lucky math, you might say. That's where we're at. So we're going back, okay? We're going back. Self-imposed limitations can take different forms. They can be insecurities, self-doubt, self-sabotage, lack of preparation. There can be a lot of, you always look at you. Always look at you. Now, a quarterback throws the ball, receiver has to catch. The quarterback not ready, not seeing the field, not able to stay in the pocket, take the pressure. Okay? No star winning championship quarterback is abdicating or even delegating. Okay? Owning the field, mastering the plays, committing to win. So, there's a lot of behavioral things, mindset and physical behavior, that can sabotage. Where the focus of the team is, where the focus of your diagnosing is, the verbiage you use. Revert back to last week if you want some verbiage stuff. The second part of self-limiting beliefs is the breakdown. It goes back to the whole you give to. Let's say you give a lot. You give a big vision. But then you say, well, we're going to just present a little bit of the vision. Okay? Or we give the big vision, but then we say, well, it's okay if this is most important, this is the first priority, this is where we start. Or some people, they even go all in on diagnosis, but then they don't even give the patient an opportunity. Remember my famous words, okay? The patient can only say yes to what you give them the opportunity to say yes to. We are giving the privilege, the honor, the gift, the responsibility of people a bigger yes. That's what we're after here. To get a bigger yes, you got to get bigger opportunity. You got to make sure that's not happening. Now, do you know? You don't know. It's love, baby. It's love. You don't know what's being said on the phone. You don't know what's being said at the front desk. You don't know how the treatment presentation, the decision visit is going. We call it a decision visit. Why? Revert back to last week. Expectations. If we say we're going to present to you, well, that's nice. I'm an audience. I sit in an audience and you present. Great job. Okay. Or if I say we're going to decide, next week is our decision. Okay. That's what it is. It's expectations. So you don't really know 360 degrees. That's why Kevin, Megan, and myself, we do the connected patient experience. We do where everything builds on itself. Every team member connects. The communication weaves. So you got to know, where is the breakdown? Is it diagnosis? Is it case acceptance? Is it on how people are paying? Is it on how treatment is phased or staged or sequenced? And of course, verbiage. We can have limiting beliefs by the way we speak and how we sound. whether it's negative, lowest common denominator, it's worst case instead of opposite, positive, greatest benefits and opportunities, right? It's best case. All of these things can allow you to facilitate high value math, or they can get in the way. So to get lucky, stop being unlucky, okay? And believe yourself to have all the power. Nobody is unlucky. It's their actions that make them, okay, have a less than desired result. You got to own these superpowers and start with the premise that everything goes your way. Of course, you got the Midas touch. You're lucky every day. And the patient is lucky to be with you. Same deal. And finally, you got to have protocols. Sometimes the protocols are in the way. Imagine this. We present health. We got a patient emotionally invested, all in. They can't wait. They believe. And then we say, well, let's see what your insurance is going to cover. Or we're going to submit the predetermination letter, call you back. Or we'll reach out to you tomorrow, really busy right now. Okay? All these things. Or we're going to do a full big workup, but can't get you in for 2 weeks. Or the lab case isn't ready, or the treatment plan isn't done. All that comes back to protocols. Okay? Again, expectations and executions. So we got to make sure our protocols are stimulating a lucky day. You want to have a lucky day? You don't take photos once in a while. You don't take photos when you need to. You take photos as a standard of excellence. We don't talk about treatment in a chart. Okay? We talk about reality of the mouth. So all these things play to set you up for the luck factors. That's what we're talking about here. So I want to do a big deep dive coming up on the biggest one. So I want you to play, number one, focus equals fulfillment. That's manifestation in motion. I want you to build a practice that is completely immersed in the luck factors. That means you remove all self-imposed limitations. You embrace the idea of giving as much as you can in order to get reciprocally, okay, that amount. You remove self-sabotage, remove unlucky, breaking things down, using negative, poor, shitty verbiage, protocols that are not tightened up to facilitate the lucky day. And then finally, I just want to remind you about this. Your luck stimulates, okay, from really three key things. The first one is the mission is simple. It's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's the deal. There's no bones about it. Okay? If we're going to make an impact on the patient, another one of my famous sayings, we only help the ones who say yes. You want to do a better job? Get better yeses. Okay? You want to do a bigger impact? Get bigger yeses. The bottom line is, as coins in a can, that's what it is. Okay? We got to ring the cash register. We got to pile up the pot of gold. And everybody's got to be crystal clear about that and embrace it and be good with it. It's all relationships. Haven't I not talked about that every single day? It's all about expectations of helping people. But there's one thing that tells us whether that patient is making a trek with us or whether we're leaving them behind. And if you want to align luck in your favor, you're going to be crystal clear. The second part of this is you got to be unabashed and proud of the value you bring, proud of who you are. And I just want to say, you got to tell a story. You have got to let people know what you do, why it matters, how you're going to impact them. Okay? So answer the question, what are you about? The greater why, the mission, as we call it, purpose, passion, profits. Why do you exist? Okay? What do you do? And why does it matter? Okay? So you know the game plan. You know what we're about. You got to tell a story. And then finally, focus equals fulfillment. Okay? Give and receive. I'll give you one more equals sign. That is your experience equals results. It's a simple concept. The results you're getting today are based exclusively on the experience that you provide. Now, that's the experience in your culture, in your team meetings. That's the experience in your schedule, in your workflow. That's the experience with your patients, not just new patient experience. That's what you thought I meant. But the experience of everything. Your experience in your beginning routine of your day, your drive to the office, how you wrap things up, the quality of life, the significance, the fulfillment, okay, the harmony, the presence you have with your family. Experience equals results. Your life is giving you, okay, the results right now based on the experience. You want to get luckier? Insert whatever that might mean for you today. Okay, in the bigger scope of your life, create an experience that sets you up for success. Okay, that manifests your mission, that leads to the luck factors. And then guess what? You'll focus, you'll fulfill, you'll love it. You'll love it. You'll enjoy. And when you have that joy, that positivity, that enthusiasm, that passion is radiating off of you, look familiar? Right? Everything's going to go your way. And you're going to look back and say, wow, that was a great day. That was a lucky day. And we think, no, actually, it was incredibly deliberate. It was very much on purpose. Okay? On purpose, for the purpose. And it was absolutely what I expected. Because it's what I created. And when you can grasp that baby right there, as one of my great, great friends and mentors would say, ultimately we all become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Make yours a lucky one, filled with peace, prosperity, and possibility.